Vuelve a tu sueño acuático, Poseidón.
Seiya, prepárate para el exterminio. ¡A luchar!
In the past, many of the anime games were exclusive for the Japan market, but now we live in an era where all this is left behind, all thanks to the success of the first big bet of Bandai Namco on this side of the world, Saint Seiya Brave Soldiers. And now the Soldiers of Athena come back again to make history in the West.
La flecha atravesará su corazón en 12 horas.
Just like the previous game, Soul Soldiers tell the most important events of Saint Seiya, the Sanctuary Saga, the Saga of Poseidon, Hades, and for the first time the Saga of Asgard. It's disappointing there is no content beyond the story we have seen hundreds of times, like some kind of original story related to the Divine Armors or a reason that justifies a little bit more making a new delivery of this franchise.
Sí, lucharemos con orgullo por la paz en la tierra.
A great detail that we really appreciate is that the game gives you the freedom to choose any of the first 4 sagas as you want. If you want to skip the Sanctuary or Asgard and start playing for Poseidon, you can do it with any problem.
El viejo maestro me habló de ida de Asgard.
Something that was really improved is that now the narrative is more dynamic. Brave Soldiers was very tedious because you have to read the whole story through the written dialogues and static slides. Now all the chapters are narrated with cinematics made by the game engine, and the experience feels more like watching an episode of the series. The fights are essentially the same like in the previous game. You have buttons to attack, make ranged attacks, jump, defend, and charge Cosmos, with the possibility to make grabs, air combos, and mixing the Cosmos charge with the rest of the buttons, you can make more varied movements. Something very peculiar is that the game inherits the system of Dragon Ball Xenoverse of having in real time a library of special abilities that spend Cosmos, besides the final attack called Big Bang Attack that spend an additional special bar. The character roster is bigger than in Brave Soldiers. Not counting the alternative customs, we have a total of 72 fighters to choose. But there is still the problem that many of them are clones with minor variations in their movements. All true, it is really fun, but it's not a competitive game. Characters like Sean, Athena, Hades, Seiya with the armor of Odin, or any other soldier with the divine armor stands out from the rest. In an attempt to give more variety to the combat system, the game adds a system called support phrases, where we can equip to our characters a large number of phrases that will gel out in the middle of a fight and give them a small advantage, like get faster some Cosmos or consume less bar when making special attacks, similar to the system we have seen in games like Street Fighter Cross Tekken with the gems or in Dragon Ball Xenoverse with the Soul Sea. The problem with the support phrases is that most of them don't produce a really notable change in the characters and can only be used in certain modes, nor in the campaign or in the 90% of the multiplayer modes, so it feels like a wasted potential.
Caballeros del Zodiaco, alma de soldados.
If you have the desire to see the story of Solo to God, the game gives you a replacement called Golden Fights, a game mode where we have a board that we complete while winning a series of battles. Playing this game mode is the only way to get the divine armors of the 12 gold soldiers. It's not better than having a new campaign mode, but playing with the divine armors is really fun and it's good enough to give it a chance. Graphically, the game complies in a decent way. As always, the character models are the best in the section, mainly the incredible details in the armors. The color palette is very attractive, hypnotizing with the blast of lights and shine that will be fired from the screen.
Ya perdimos una hora entera. Hay que seguir.
Terminé. Kiki.
The idea of giving a rhythm more dynamic to the game with cinematic was a great one, but the implementation leaves much to be desired. The movements of the characters are terribly robotic. Movements are recycled again and again in all the videos, something we cannot explain why. The game runs great on PlayStation 4. Load times are tiny and most are very well dressed so you don't realize they exist. We didn't experience slowdown moments in the time we play, which speaks well of the effort employed in this section to be impeccable. The musical section is quite good. The soundtrack you will hear in the menus or the matches is of an excellent quality. It is a pity that many of them will pass unnoticed during the punch and screaming fest, but the ones you can hear will remain imprinted on your mind. You're probably waiting for flowers to the dubbing that has the title, but unfortunately there are many details to be mentioned. Most performances are pretty good, but there are characters like Hilda or Sid that are really misperformed, making some scenes less serious. it can be seen a good effort to making a good adaptation. When you get deeper into the fight, the voices give it an epic touch to the series and will put goosebumps when you hear the soldiers yelling their powers while beating up your opponents.
¡Hércules titánico! ¡No subestimes a un dios guerrero!
Saint Seiya Brave is a great game that it's better than its previous delivery in almost all aspects. If you didn't like Brave Soldiers, you better stay away from this, because the formula, even if it was improved, it remains the same as we saw in the PlayStation 3 title. If the game called your attention, we suggest you to give it a check. It is a game that's worth every penny if you're a fan of this legendary franchise. Check out the link for the full guide and review in the video description for all the details you want to know about Saint Seiya Brave. Like this video, share, subscribe, visit crossover.com.mx, and of course, Pegasus Ryuseiken! Keep playing!
Duerme en el fondo del mar.